Join us today in the Dink shop where we will make some sawdust and memories.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We are in the Dink Shop. Today, we're going to be working on a different project. We see them all the time on woodworker channels. It's the infamous cedar picket planter. I drew out a design that I wanted to work on, and I won't tell you you can sell these for 40, 50, $60, whatever. This is just something that I wanted to make for our patio for this spring and upcoming summer. I don't know how many pickets it's going to take. Some people tell you you can build them with one picket or two pickets. I really don't know yet. We're going to take a look at what I have sketched out, and it's not going to be a real big one. It's going to be about 16 inches long, and however wide these pickets are. I do want to clean up both edges on the picket so I have nice straight edges to work with. The rest of it, at least on one of them, I'm going to leave rough. They're kind of rough sawn. It looks, just taking a measurement, it looks like it's going to be approximately 5 inches. So it's going to be 5 inches wide and 16 inches long, roughly. Start the project from there. I think I'll take at my drawing. It's pretty rough. It's got 16 inches by the 5 inches. I wasn't for sure, so I didn't really write down a exact measurement on that. It's going to have like a little roof line on the back side of that. It's going to have, I think, at least four uprights coming up, and then the roof line will attach to it. I also want to make a little place that I can put a flag in it, a little holder for a flag, and I do have some small solar lights. So the first thing I'm going to do, I want to set up my saw fence for probably about 5 1/8 or so. Just clean these edges up. And look, my small shop says, no, you're not without your table. So we're going to have to move that just a little bit. That should work. And let me scoop my outfeed table over. That'll work. Run one side through, and then we're going to flip it around. I'm going to do a few of these at a time. And what I want to do is just take that edge off. Start with the 3 of them. I think I'll lower my blade just a little bit here. I'm going to set my blade up to 5 inches. That'll give me a nice number to work with. Okay, I'm going to run those through, and then we'll see what we got once we get those done. Okay, we got those cut down. I did 5 inches on those. So like I mentioned, the factory ends on these are never straight. These pickets are probably worse than nominal lumber. What I'm going to do is line the edges up here. I'm going to trim all 3 of these off at the same time. Okay. Some of these have some pretty rough knots. Now they're kind of cool looking at them. This particular one is real soft right here. This one's chipped out a little bit. I think I'll set this board to the side. Let's see what these two look like. I'm going to make the two 16-inch long pieces. Get a mark here at 16. That'll be our front and our back. Make sure you flush your ends up here. Slide her down, get it set in here. Slide this down, make that cut. That was just a hair long. I'm going to put my blade down, slide the pieces up to the blade, and run it by it one more time. That'll take, oh, not even a 1/16 of an inch off. So we got these two side pieces. Set those up. So that's going to be the two sides, the front and the back. You can really tell how warped those are. I'm hoping. I got a kind of an idea for that. I'm not sure that it's going to work, but let's see. What I want to do is cut a piece for the bottom, and I'm going to say 14 and 11. I'm going to go ahead and cut the second one of those. It'll need to be ripped down, but it's okay. What I'm thinking is, if you can see that, those are really bowed, they're cupped rather. The grain of that tree went this way, and when it was cut, it was never kiln dried or anything like that. But I think if I come in here and cut that in half, that'll relieve some of that cut. It'll show up on the front and the back, but I think I'm okay with that. I think it'll kind of give it a design. Measurement on those. I want to see how tall I want the roof line to be here. I think the roof line, I'm going to say, let's make it 16 inches. I'm going to set my blade up for 1 3/4 inches. Not 2 1/4 inches. Okay, I ripped down, what I got was 4 strips out of what was left of those that I cut. 2 of them are shorter than the others, but that's okay. Lay these down so they don't fall down. So, what my thought is on the miter saw, they have positive stops. And this is 31 1/2. Yep. So I think that's going to be my angle for the roof. Now I'll put these together, and from the long point of this angle, I'll measure down 16 inches and get me a mark there. Put my pieces flush together on the end. Bring my saw back to 0. Line that up. Just a hair too short. Let's bring it over. Okay. That will work. So back to our box. These are going to go in the center here. And I think one more, even if I move this over just a little bit from the center, it'll make the peak a little bit higher than 16, but I'm okay with that. Okay, we got the, didn't even take off. It did. We got the two pieces rough cut for length, but these are going to go in here like this. We got one piece here. We got the other corner piece, the two center pieces. It was about 1.5 inches off the center mark to the inside edge of these. So I think before I do that, I want to cut these sides and the end pieces in half to get rid of that cup. That's what I think I want to do. I'm going to see what one of them looks like. To be half of this 5 inches. So I'm going to center my blade at 2.5. I want to make sure that the cup in the board is like this, and I want to cut right in the center of those pieces. That should help relieve the pronunciation of that cup. That's my hope anyway. Let's get those ripped through and see what we think of that. I'll kind of over exaggerate that, but the cup's like this, and when I got towards the end, back where my hand is, you could feel it drop. That's how much of a cup was in there. But I think that's going to take out quite a bit of it. I may come in here and relieve this with a small chamfer. I haven't decided about that yet. I'm going to go ahead and put a chamfer on those two edges. I got my router lift, took this off, got the tool for that. I unplugged my tool. Be sure you do that before you work on any of these. Okay, let's plug her back in here, and it's ready to turn on. I think that's going to be pretty good. It's got just a slight edge on there. That's going to clean those edges up on that cedar nicely, I think. When you run those through, you always want to go from your right side and go to the left. So you're going to run your piece through here. You never want to come around on the back side of this, even if it's like if you're turning it. That'll grab your piece and can pull your hand up into it. So just be super careful with it. Here's what we're going to look like once we get these pieces in there. It's kind of hard to see maybe, but it makes it look like it's got a V groove in it, which would have worked too had that not been cupped so bad. I'll tell you what, this is one of the best upgrades I have done in my shop. It's got to be, if not number one, it's got to be close to it. I absolutely did not like my old setup. This was so easy. It took me less than 5 minutes to change the blade out, get it set to where I wanted. I was able to run these pieces through. I think that's really going to add to the value of the piece. So I'm very happy that I did that. And if you ever get a chance to do it, I highly suggest to. The next thing I decided to do was to get my pin nailer out. I'm going to put 3/4 inch pins in it. I also got Titebond 3 glue, the exterior glue. You see a lot of people use that. I think the first thing I want to do, kind of give me a mark here, just where to stop the glue. I don't want a bunch of squeeze out on it. I'm going to use the 3/4 inch pins just to act as a clamping mechanism. Back piece. I want to flush up my ends. I want to put a few in there because that's got to hold that while the glue sets up. Now this piece, I can just flush it up with the edge here. Put some more pins in it. Okay. Okay. Make sure you got your long point towards the center. And I'm going to find my mark here. There it is. I'm going to start with the bottom part. There we go. So this is the back part of the planner with the, I haven't figured out what we're going to do for length on these, but these are going to go on here like this. Kind of getting the idea maybe. So what I need to do is figure out just how long past here, and it probably won't be real long. I'm going to say maybe about an inch past. And I think what I'll do is put a little bit of glue here and then shoot a couple of pin nails from each direction. Watch your fingers. That'll just hold it together while we're working with it. Hey, it came to my attention when I went back to look at the video that I had missed part of that. So let me catch you up to date. What I did was attach the sides, these corners, and I glued each one. I glued on the inside, and on the inside I put brad nails, the 3/4 inch brad nails that I used. I got those all on. I don't have the bottom in yet, so that's actually my next step. Okay, we're gonna get some glue. I'll put the cup up. I want that knot in the middle. Put that in here like this. Get a little glue around the edges. Then we'll use a brad or a pen nailer. I'm sorry. Brads are bigger than pins. Put those in. I'm gonna measure this piece. I got it ripped down to, or cut to length rather. We're about 2 13/16. Okay, 2 13/16. Put some glue on here. I'll get that put in place. I got an idea for the flag holder. I'm thinking maybe making what looks like a chimney coming off of the roof line and drill a hole in it for the flag. I'm going to kind of see how that looks. I'm not going to glue this centerpiece because I'll get it all over me. I do that enough already. My brad nailer right here, and it has 1-inch nails in it. I'm going to put a couple 1-inch nails around this bottom to give it a little more reinforcement. That'll have some weight to it when you get the dirt in there in your plants. So I think I'll put a couple of these in there. Give it a little more strength. That looks pretty good. So we got the bottom in. I am going to drill maybe about 4 holes, maybe 2 down here and 2 here. Just for some drainage. We don't want to leave any water standing in there. It is cedar, but we don't want to cause any problems with it. Now I'm thinking maybe adding maybe a little piece here that looks like a chimney maybe, and then I can drill down in the top to put the flag in. I do want a flag on there. I think I'll put it up on at this height here rather than down here. I kind of want that over the top of one of these uprights. So I'm going to cut a couple pieces. They're going to need to be glued together and kind of see what that looks like and see if I like how it looks. What I did was cut 3 blocks out of this 1 3/4 pieces. Had some scrap left over. Let's see here. These are cut long. I haven't decided how long to make it just yet. So I want to glue these up. Kind of flush up the edges as best we can. The front, this is 31.6. I couldn't remember the angle of that. Put a couple in there that way. And then we'll do one more here. Thinking I can just drill down in the top of that. Those aren't very big. I don't have any with me right now, but I saw some at the store the other day, gave me the idea to put a flag on there. So here's our chimney. Let's see what we think of it. I think something like that, and I think I'll just cut that even with this shorter piece right here. I'm going to cut that off straight cut. I am going to use my hold down tool that I made because that's a pretty small piece and I really don't need my fingers in the saw. So let's come over here. This is the piece I'm talking about. I put a couple rubber feet on here. This can rock back and forth depending on where you need it, but you can set that up on your saw. This 1/4 inch plywood has a little bit of flex to it, so it'll hold it down tight. So let's put that up here and kind of get where we want our blade to be. Right about there. So I'm going to hold that up in there. Let's see how that works. That works really good. That's a handy little tool. Costs next to nothing to make. These are cutting board feet. I had a couple different sizes. I ended up using CA glue, glued those to that. I don't know, worked really good. I'd recommend them. So now let's see which side that we want that on. I'm going to say on the right side. I think we'll put that as close as we can. keep reaching for my pencil by my ear and it ain't there. Transfer a mark here so I know where we're at. I think I'm going to change out my gun here. Go back to the brad nail. They are a little bit longer, and I think that'll work out pretty good. So I'm going to get that on here. And my thought is toenail one in here. That didn't go in all the way for some reason, probably because of that knot. So I think I'll get this turned upside down here. Put a couple in this way. All right, I'll take my hammer and a nail set and set that nail in. You see it's sticking out there just a little bit. Okay, I think we're about finished up here. I am going to drill a hole in the top of the chimney to put the flag in. I don't have the flag, like I said, so I'm going to wait to drill that out after I get it to see how big of a bit I need. One thing I would mention is if you have an engraver or any way to do a wood burning in here, you could put a funny saying, gardening saying on here. Maybe your address, maybe your last name, but that's an option. So I like it. I'm going to put it together, get some plants in it, and just kind of see what it looks like with that. I might take a couple pictures when that's done. But overall, I think it turned out good. I thank you for joining me. If you get a chance to like and subscribe, that would be awesome. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. There we go. Got the flag put in there. I used about 3/16 maybe brad point bit.